autumn has well and truly set in, and with both of us working full time and it being pitch black by the time we get home, our motivation to get into the garden has been absolutely zero. At least one of us today has got a day off, so we're going to give this garden a bit of TLC, but first we're going to take this dog for a bit of a walk. I think first things first is we'll look in the greenhouse because we actually do have some things growing in there, and that also needs a little bit of work because I may have left some plants in there for a little bit too long. I think it was probably about, maybe even over a month or a month and a half ago, you saw me plant some seeds in here which have actually grown, so I'm really pleased with those. But the first thing we're going to take out is this tomato, which is just next to me here. It's gone a bit mouldy and looks a bit gross. We were hoping they were going to go green, but no, we're hoping they were going to go red, actually. And yeah, now it's like freezing degrees. Oh God. Right. The stem on this has gone all smushy, so I think it's definitely time to go. But these Marman tomatoes have been absolutely amazing this year. They were massive and they tasted amazing. Went with salads or on toast with mozzarella and all sorts. We definitely use them all, so I don't feel too bad about getting rid of these last 4 because they were so good. Alright, so now let's have a little look at what's going on in the greenhouse. Some things are doing pretty well. Excuse me, Ada. Some things are doing pretty well and some things have been a bit of a fail, but it's been all my fault and I'll tell you why. First fail is these pak choys with volunteer tomatoes growing in as well. They're not going to do anything. And what I didn't realise about pak choys, and tell me if I'm wrong anyway, I thought that you could just grow them and leave them until you're ready to eat them basically. But when we've cooked a couple of them, they've been really bitter. So what we think we've learned is once they look ready, they really need picking. So probably shouldn't be sowing. Well, I've only sowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Only sowed 8 at a time, but still 8 is quite a lot just for 2 people if you're only having a stir fry once or twice a week. So I probably need to do 2, 3, 4 maybe, just account for any losses, maybe once a month, and then we can kind of have a continuous harvest going. But now it's a bit too late, it's too cold to start these, so maybe looking at springtime I'm going to start some more, maybe do that every couple of weeks thing, and maybe have a bit more of a successful harvest with these. But I don't want to get rid of them because they look so nice, but I'm not going to eat them. I will give them to the worms. I'm well gutted about these. I was really looking forward to eating them. I gave them so much love in fighting off those aphids and they grew really nicely, but they taste absolutely disgusting and don't know why. Either because I left them too long or I've just thought maybe I didn't water them enough, because that's a problem with salad in the summer when they get too hot and dehydrated, so could be that. I don't know. Either way, sad times. On another note, while I was walking past, these are the strawberries that I propagated from runners using that plastic bag and dirt method. And they're still alive, like 2 months later, so more strawberries for us. In the greenhouse at the moment, I have got some red curly kale. I've got some salad, spring onions, which may or may not grow. I planted a lot and there's only like 5. I've got some radishes, which are doing things. Beetroots are getting bigger, and some spinach, which is growing really incredibly slowly, but I have taken one harvest of about 20 leaves, which is enough for me for a wrap, so that's fine. I've got loads more salads up here which we need to put somewhere now because they're getting too big for their pots. And I had, these could probably go, I'm not even sure what that is. Potentially a cauliflower, which isn't going to cauliflower by winter. Which also reminds me, we can look at the outdoor veg, which I had tried to protect from caterpillar attack earlier in the summer. And they look like they're doing pretty well, and I think some of the things are actually ready. And the salads that are up here on a shelf in a bit more maybe sunlight seem to be doing better than the ones in the ground here, so that's why I'm going to put them in some pots and back on the shelf so they can continue to potentially grow. I don't really know if it's a good time to grow salad, but it's doing something. It looks edible. They look a bit pasty, just like me. Just got to prep these beds then, get these volunteer tomatoes all out, all these leaves. I think I'll just do 2 per bucket. Probably end up killing them all now. They just need a little bit more space to do their salad thing. So I've noticed now that there's less sunlight, there's less, well, zero red on any of the Olorosos. They've still got that leaf shape, but no red at all. Whereas the ones in the summer that were in full sunlight were only red and not green. So that's interesting. Or is it interesting? I don't really know. I put gloves on because I touched another slug. Ugh, disgusting. So I've just been clearing out some old plants that have been in these trays. So I had about 10 chards going on. So I've kept 2 and they're going to go outside where the outside plants are right now. Because I've seen how big they get and they are absolutely massive. And I definitely don't need 10 in my tiny garden. I'm going to give these all a bit of a rinse and a clean because they're a bit manky. They've been sat in the greenhouse for a while with some of them sitting in water and they've gone a bit ugh. So let me show you what else is going on in the greenhouse at the moment. Hello. You brought me a stick. Let's have a look at the stick that you've brought me. It's the tiniest stick I think I've ever seen. First off in the corner, you watch me plant some spring onions, and I can probably count about 12 plants out of the maybe 30 that I planted. So I'm not sure what's happened there. Maybe some insects have carried the seeds off, or they just weren't meant to grow at this time of year, even though I kind of just go by the packet because I don't really know what I'm doing, and it said I could, but who knows. They're meant to be the winter hardy Lisbon ones, but maybe by spring we'll have 1 or 2 spring onions. Next up we've got some radishes. So again, I think these got eaten a lot by the slugs, so only the strongest have survived, and I don't know if the germination was amazing on these. But I can see some radishes forming, so that's really nice. I've had a bit more success with beetroots here, and they probably do need a bit of thinning out, but they're not really doing anything at the moment, so I can just kind of let them grow and do their thing, get a little bit bigger, and then potentially thin them out. Although I see a lot of people, particularly like Charles Dowding, who seems to know, or does know, a lot about gardening, a lot more than me, and he just leaves them multi-sown, so maybe I'll just leave them and see what happens. Bit of an experiment to see if they even grow over winter. And my most successful thing is probably the spinach, which is quite ironic considering all the fails we've had with spinach this whole year. So this must have been the right time of year to grow. The only thing I'd do differently next year is not bother planting them in rows and just kind of sprinkle the seeds over an area, so you just get a whole area of spinach. That seems to make more sense to me, because it looks like, well, they've just done that anyway. I've had one, like I said, teeny tiny harvest, which is enough for me and Danny, so that's fine. And it looks like I could potentially do another little harvest today. They don't seem to be growing that much or giving that much, and I don't know if it's just because it's cold and that's how it is, or I could be doing something different. So let me know in the comments if there is something I could do different with spinach. I mean, maybe it's something to do with the variety. I don't know. We've got some purple kales here. Oh, there, one there, one here, and I think that's either a cauliflower or a sprout. I don't think it's going to do anything, but I'm going to leave it. And the kale's looking reasonably good. I've given them a lot of space because I know they are absolutely massive plants in the end. And again, I suppose it's because it's the cold weather, and I think on the floor of the greenhouse they don't get a huge amount of sunshine, so hence the slow growing. But I thought I could grow them at this time of year as well. So again, let me know if I'm wrong. And I've just seen, I germinated my salad seeds in this lunchbox probably a good 8 weeks ago, and I left them to die. And the most neglected ones seem to be doing the best. So maybe I should plant them. I might chuck them in the ground just now. I think that's everything in the greenhouse pretty much sorted. So let's have a look at everything that's going on outside. It's time to thin out the carrots now. They're a good few inches tall, and you watched me sow these a good few weeks ago, so I can see there's some quite close together. They need thinning out, and then I don't know if carrot root fly is a problem in the winter, but I'm going to cover them with that net again. That seemed to work pretty well from keeping them away last time. I think that'll do for a first thinning. I look like I've only got about 20 carrots left now, but I guess if they're going to get half decent sized carrots, then it's going to be worth it. So I'm going to get some fleece and some string and cover these over now before some of those fly thingies get them. Next to last thing of the day is I'm going to take out all these beetroots. They have been in the ground for a really, really long time. So I think a fair few of them will be ready. Some of them won't be, but it's probably been July I put them in here, maybe. So the last thing I want is them getting woody and then not being able to eat any of them. Moment of truth, let's have a look what we've got. Very big. I have had some massive ones which were really cool. I don't know why they're so small if they've been growing for so long. Anyone got any wisdom? Oh, one. Oh man, this is sad. Oh, there's a good one. I don't think any supermarkets have got anything to worry about just yet. Last of all, in the summer you watched me do a very DIY job of a net to cover all of these brassicas from the butterflies, and it's safe to say that they've survived. Yay! And I had a little Google the other day to know when kohlrabies are actually ready, and it's when they're about golf/tennis ball size, which some of them look like they already are. So I'm going to pick some of those and hope I've not left them too long, like the pak choys, so that we can actually eat some of those. And I can see a funny looking swede, which looks like it's probably ready because it looks like a swede. I don't know. So I think that's my best looking kohlrabi that I've got. That looks about golf/tennis ball size. So that's the bit that I'm going to take inside. I just took off the scabby leaves. This one is about tennis ball size, so he could probably come out too. Not bad. Is that ready? And a couple more things which will be staying in the bed for now are the Brussels sprouts, which look like they're getting teeny tiny sprouts on, which are very cute, and maybe they'll be ready in time for a few months after Christmas. And then I've also got a cauliflower which has got a teeny tiny cauliflower in it, so maybe we'll get one of those as well. Done a little bit of a tidy up and I've harvested some veg. Not enough for a full meal, but you know, it's better than nothing. I don't know how great I'm going to be at this whole self-sufficiency thing, but maybe when we can dedicate a bit more time, space, effort and resources into it, we might be a bit better. But now I'm absolutely starving, so I think that's enough for today. And if you have any answers to the questions that I've asked about why my veg aren't doing that great, then please let me know. But otherwise, we will see you soon.